What's up YouTube? It's Giuseppe. Welcome to another NBA 2K20 video. Today, we're going to be talking about probably the best center build you can make in this game before hitting Legend. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video, subscribe if you guys are new. This build right here plays perfectly into the current meta of NBA 2K20 and is great for getting rep. So that's essentially what we're going to make here is a build that plays well in the current meta. You're going to be able to win games and you're going to get rep really quick. Let's go ahead and get right into it. The position is going to be center. You can be right or left-handed. It doesn't make a difference, and choose whatever jersey number that you guys want to choose. The skill breakdown, we're going to be using the red and the blue pie chart. If you guys have been following my channel, you know I made a build very similar to this during the prelude before the actual game came out. This one's going to be a little bit different. So if you already saw that one, stay tuned because this one is not going to be the exact same. Some of you guys may have already seen builds like this before, but trust me, I have an interesting take on it as well. So you guys might want to stick around and check it out. So it's going to be the red and the blue pie chart. And then our physical profile, we're going to be using the one that maximizes strength and vertical. Strength and vertical. I see a lot of people making builds similar to this and they get the pie chart that maximizes speed, acceleration, and vertical, and they ignore their strength. The reason I want to have a maxed out strength at 95 is because I still want this build to be a defensive juggernaut on the defensive end of the basketball court. So we need that high strength to bang down low, pause on that with the other big centers out there. So you want to have that big 95 strength out there. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys all the different attributes, and then I'm going to break down my choices behind those different attribute selections so you guys understand why I'm making these different choices. So shot close is going to be maxed out. Driving layup and driving dunk is both going to be maxed out. We're going to get our standing dunk to a 93, and our hook shot is going to go up to a 74. Our medium range shot is going to max out. Our free throw is going to go up to a 64. We're not going to touch our three-point shot, and then our post fade is going to be maxed out as well. We're not going to touch anything with the playmaking. And then as far as our defense, we're going to max out interior defense, max out steal, block, and all of our rebounding. And that's going to use up all of our different attributes. This is going to finish off with 20 finishing badges, 3 shooting badges, 1 playmaking badge, and 24 defense and rebounding badges. Breaking down the reasoning behind all the different attribute selections here. The finishing. Obviously, this is a build that maximizes its ability to finish at the rim. You're going to be doing a lot of alley-oops, which gives you a lot of rep on 2K20. So like I said, you're playing into the meta. You're able to do alley-oops with this build. You're able to do those hop-step dunks with this build that are unguardable. You're playing into the meta that it's hop-step dunks and alley-oops, and you're getting rep really fast. So that's why we're maximizing our finishing, and that's kind of the reason we went with it. The reason we did not max out our standing dunk or our post hook is simply because we needed the extra points for shooting. So everything's going to be maxed out except these two are dropped down a little bit, and we're able to max out everything we can while conserving points as far as for badges that we need to be successful. The post hook at a 74 is still high enough by far to be able to finish over mismatches. So if you have someone like 6'8" or shorter, you can absolutely post them up and throw up a hook shot if you guys want to, because the hook shot is going to be high enough to still finish around the rim, especially when we're incorporating some of our different finishing badges. So keep that in mind. Our driving dunk, once we added our height and everything, we're going to be able to get any contact dunk in the game, the elite level alley-oops, all that kind of good stuff. So it's going to be high enough. Trust me, this is exactly where you want it. Now, the reason we needed to conserve points for shooting was so that we could get 3 shooting badges. We're not going to be shooting free throws because this is mostly a park build, and we're not going to be doing post fades with this type of a build. So these are worthless, but we increased it so that we could get those 3 shooting badges. The reason 3 shooting badges is critical on this build is we need to be able to get gold quick draw. You don't want to be out there with only 1 shooting badge. Bronze quick draw is worthless. Your jump shot is going to be super slow. So by doing that, getting gold quick draw, we can utilize this 62 medium range shot. And after the 99.9, we're going to have a 67 medium range shot, which is very respectable. That's easy enough to green every single time you're open. And a lot of people do not think this build can shoot at all because a lot of people put these extra points into something like playmaking or defense when they max out their finishing. So people don't expect you to be able to shoot with this build. But the way I've made it, you can absolutely shoot, especially off like a little pick and pop. You can spot up at the medium range shot, catch that ball. And a wide open medium range shot is very easy to green in this game, especially when you're getting that pass from like Dimer and floor general and you're just standing there wide open. It's super easy to green, and a 67 is going to be high enough to do that. So that's the reasoning behind our shooting attributes, was to get gold quick draw and max out our medium range shot. We didn't touch playmaking because I don't have enough attribute points to touch playmaking. Increasing post moves might have been cool to get a couple of playmaking badges. Like quick first step would have been cool. Maybe post spin technician to be able to spin and do some dunks. Would have been nice to have, but we can't afford enough playmaking points to be able to do anything like that. So we only have the 1 playmaking badge because the rest went into our defense. Like I said, you want to be a defensive presence out there, so we have to have our defense as high as possible. Obviously, anytime you make a center build, interior defense, block, and your rebounding it needs to be maxed. If you don't have that maxed on a center build, you need to delete that build. That's a worthless center build in my personal opinion. Of course, we maxed all those out. And then the rest of the points, I know a lot of people probably would have considered putting him into perimeter defense or lateral quickness so they can play it on guards, maybe switching on a pick and roll. The reason I put him into steal, and a lot of people might be confused with this, is not necessarily to get on-ball strip steals. I'm not trying to strip any ball handlers with this steal. The reason I increased my steal is you get better animations when you're going for passing lane steals. So when I'm trying to get a passing lane steal, this is going to give me a longer lunge. I'm going to move faster into it. I'm going to catch it better instead of just knocking it out of bounds. It's going to overall give me better animations. It works very similar to block. If you have a low block, your player doesn't get good animations. With a high block, he jumps higher, he goes for the ball more accurately, and he swings his arm more at it. It's just, if you guys have experienced a player with a low block versus a high block, you know what I'm talking about. You get very different animations. And if you've done the same with a steal, you know what I'm talking about. For example, on my interior forces, the one thing I don't really like about him is his steal is kind of low. I didn't have the points to put anything towards steal, but with like a 43 steal, even though I'm 7'3" with max wingspan, it's hard to get into those lanes sometimes just because of that low steal. It gives me terrible animations. So that's the reason we want to max out our steal, and that's going to give us 24 defense and rebounding badges. Moving on, the body shape. I still don't really know if this affects anything as far as gameplay is concerned, but looking at it, Burley looks the thickest, and I want to be as thick as I can out there on that court for when I'm setting screens, because the thicker you are, in my mind, the larger your hitbox is. I don't know if that's how it actually works on 2K, but that's how I would think it would be. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Burley. It doesn't really make a big difference to me anyway. Burley sounds just fine. The height is critical on this build. You have to get the height right, or this build is essentially worthless. 6'10" on this build is what, in my opinion, is the perfect medium. If you want to check out 6'9", maybe dabble with 6'11", go ahead. But after intense review, 6'10" seems to be perfect. You get your driving dunk high enough where after you get your 95 and you get your extra attributes, you can get all the contact dunks, all the different alley-oops in the game, because you're going to have over an 85 driving dunk. You're going to have all your finishing is going to be better as far as your driving layup and your driving dunk. You're going to get a little bit better on your jump shot, which we like to have. I'm not going to turn down extra jump shot. Your playmaking gets a little bit better. We don't really give a damn about that. You lose like 1 off your rebound and a couple off your interior defense, but your steal, your perimeter defense, lateral quickness obviously is going to go up. And then the big thing, our speed, acceleration, and vertical takes a huge jump up. We get a huge increase to all of those being 6'10". We don't lose any strength, and we really don't lose that much being 6'10", other than our height. We still have that maximum 95 strength though, so we can still play defense. We have 24 defense badges. I promise you, you will be able to play defense just fine at 6'10", and you will be able to get rebounds just fine. I know a lot of people are concerned about rebounds, but again, rebounding is all about boxing out, proper position, and timing properly for the rebound. Our weight, we are going to go all the way up to 279. We're not going to max out at 280. The reason being, 279 to 280, you still maintain a plus 8 to your interior defense, but if you go up to 280, you lose 1 off your vertical. So go 279. That's still going to maximize your weight, so that when you're playing against other centers down low, you're going to have as much weight as possible so they can't move you around. You're still going to maximize your interior defense, and you're not going to lose as much to your vertical. So go 279 instead of 280. It's a 1 weight difference, and it's going to make a huge difference in your gameplay. Now our wingspan, we're going to max it all the way out. We are 6'10", so with a max wingspan, we need extra wingspan to help us contesting shots, blocking shots, and getting rebound. And this is going to help us by maxing out our wingspan. We will lose a little bit of our shooting, but it's just the 2 that we gained by going down to 6'10". It's also going to increase our block and our steal, and overall it's going to make everything a little bit better for us, like I said, as far as getting rebounds, blocks, and contesting shots. So you definitely want to max out your wingspan. If you want to drop down a couple, you can cut 1 off your medium range shot, but I don't think it's worth it. You need your wingspan maxed out. I would not go any other way than a maxed wingspan on this build. Moving on, our takeover. We only have 2 choices for takeover: rim protector or glass cleaner. I personally do not believe glass cleaner is a good takeover. I actually think it's pretty worthless. I don't like it at all. I don't see a reason that you need it to show you where the rebound's going to go, because if you're a good rebounder, you already know where the rebound's going to go without this. So I don't see a purpose in it, and I actually really do like rim protector takeover. I think it's very, very good. I feel like people miss a lot of shots just because you have it activated and you're near them. Without even contesting them, they miss a lot of shots. And I think it's one of the best takeovers in the game. And my favorite part about it is if I have the ball first on something like 2s and we get like 5-6 buckets in a row and then they finally get the ball, chances are I'm either really close to takeover or I already have it by the time I get on defense. And I can go ahead and pop this and pretty much get the ball back first possession, because I'm going to be able to get a stop or protect a takeover. So that's the one we're going to go with on this build. And they are going to compare us to Ben Wallace, Mitchell Robinson and Hassan Whiteside, and we are going to be a paint beast. I'm sure you guys have seen a few paint beasts running around. I feel like mine is a little slightly different than a lot of them because, like I said, a lot of them go with the maxed out speed and vertical. They don't have the strength. A lot of them increase other stuff other than their shooting, so they don't have those 3 shooting badges for gold quick draw, so their jump shot's not really reliable because it's going to be super slow. And I think that's the biggest difference in my paint beast versus some other paint beasts, because this is going to be a reliable jump shooter. You're going to be able to finish in the paint, and you have great defense with it. We're going to go ahead and click the test build button so I can show you guys the different badges I would equip on this build, and hopefully you guys can go ahead and make one and start grinding it out yourselves. And I promise you that you guys will like this build. Trust me, it's good. I don't even have mine maxed out yet, and I'm using it in the park, and I'm having no issues. I haven't lost yet with this build. It's effective. I'm catching all kinds of alley-oops. The defense is great on it. Everything seems to work perfect. The finishing badges, obviously, Lob City Finisher needs to be on Hall of Fame, as well as Slithery Finisher and Fancy Footwork. That's going to help us play into the meta like I've been talking about all video by throwing lobs and then doing those hop step dunks with Slithery Finisher and Fancy Footwork. It's going to allow us to score very easily and maximize on rep. We're also going to increase our contact finisher all the way to Hall of Fame, because if we get contact dunks, that's a lot of rep. I think you get like 1100 or something like that for a contact dunk. So the more contact dunks you can get, the better. The last 4 points, you can kind of choose a couple of different things on where you want to put it. I personally will probably use it on Pro Touch. If you guys want to use consistent finisher, if you like that better, go ahead. I like Pro Touch because it also activates on hook shots. You can use stuff like Giant Slayer is another great option because you are going to be short in the most centers at 6'10". So Giant Slayer is not bad. If you're doing a lot of reverse dunks or layups, Cross Key Score is an excellent option. It's a very underrated badge, but for this type of a build, I know a lot of people like to do those reverse layups and dunks. You're running across the key when you're doing that, so this badge will activate and it's going to help you score in those reverses every single time you use them. If you guys want to mess around with Showtime, I mean, you can consider, but I don't think we have enough badges to really mess around with Showtime. It's nice though to have the extra takeover boost when you're doing some flashy dunks. It's kind of nice, but other than that though, I wouldn't really mess with anything else. Maybe Acrobat, but you don't really need that kind of stuff. I personally think this is probably the best loadout. I'd either go with Pro Touch or Giant Slayer, to be honest with you. One or the other, can't go wrong with either of them. I'm personally gonna go with Pro Touch because I just feel like it helps you out a lot. Our shooting badge, like I said, it is gonna be all on quick draw. So we're gonna have gold quick draw. Hall of Fame would have been nice, but gold quick draw will have to do it in this circumstance. So it's gonna be fast enough to be able to get it off and be able to green that shot. Our playmaking badge, you only have one. You don't have many options. I'm probably gonna use on post spin technician just for in certain circumstances. Maybe have an opportunity to do a quick post drive or post spin, and this will help me out a little bit. Quick first step is another decent option. You only have one, so it's not going to make a huge difference wherever you put it. If you have a teammate that can also catch alley-oops, you can throw it on Lob City Passer so that you guys can go ahead and get even more rep. But other than that, if you're playing threes, break starter, you know, like, it's not too many options. So just kind of choose whatever you want. It's only one bronze badge. It's not going to make that huge of a difference. Anyway, and then the defense badges. I will say, with the defense badges, there's a lot of different possibilities you guys can use. So I suggest testing some different stuff out and find out what works perfectly for you and how you and your teammates like to play defense as a team. So me personally, brick wall and rebound chaser are must-haves on Hall of Fame. I obviously want Hall of Fame brick wall so I can get my teammate open as much as possible, and I like Hall of Fame rebound chaser just because I can jump far and get the rebounds. Gold is good too. I've used gold in the past. Some of my builds can only get up to gold, and gold works just fine. But in this build, I'm going to use Hall of Fame, and then you still have 16 points available. With these 16 points, there's a lot of different options. Gold Interceptor, in my opinion, is a must. I'm going to go ahead and get Gold Intimidator as well, and Gold Pogo Stick right here is going to be a must as well. In my opinion, Pogo Stick's like the best defensive badge in the entire game, so you definitely want to at least have this thing on gold. I feel like Hall of Fame's overkill. I don't think it's necessary. I think gold is the better fit. Hall of Fame Intimidator is not a bad choice either, because if you go with gold, you do all other gold badges, you're going to have one extra badge, so you might as well throw that on Hall of Fame. I personally like Gold Interceptor better than Hall of Fame. I feel like I get better animations. And then with these last 6 badges, there's a lot of different options. You can go Rim Protector. I would highly suggest Rim Protector. It's a great one. You can go Chase Down Artist. It's also a very good one, but of course it's a little bit situational. Tireless Defender is another good one that you can utilize. You can even try out Clamps, maybe for when you're switching off on guards. I know a lot of people love to ask me about Box and Worm. I personally do not like Box or Worm really at all. I don't think it's necessary, so I don't personally go with those. What I'm essentially probably going to end up doing with this build is I'm probably going to have Rim Protector here on gold, and I'll probably throw Chase Down Artist on. I don't know. I'm going to probably play with it. I'm going to probably play with these last 3 points. I'm probably going to play with this. Is for the most part going to be my loadout right here. This is more than likely what I'll use. And then these last 3 points I'll play with. I might throw Chase Down Artist on bronze just to get the speed boost with chase downs, because you still get better animations just with bronze. And these extra 2 points, maybe Clamps, maybe Tireless Defender, just so I have more energy while I'm running around. I might even dabble with some defensive leader. I don't know. Give that a try. I might test out worm and box a little bit more. I tested it out briefly when the game came out and I wasn't a fan, but I might give it a more tries. But yeah, these last 3 points, you're going to have some extra points. And if you don't put Intimidator on Hall of Fame, you're going to have even more points. If I want to go with the bronze chase the artist, like I said, I can still get gold tireless defender. So you have a lot of options, essentially, is what I'm trying to say here with your defense badges. There's a lot of different options that you guys can go ahead and utilize. And kind of see what works well for you. See what you kind of need. In certain circumstances, I don't feel like tireless defender is needed, but sometimes I do feel like it's needed. Clamps, it can be great not only for the guards when you're switching, but also making centers pick up the dribble if they try to dribble around you, and it's effective. So there's a lot of different options for your defense badges. Choose what works best for you. But that's pretty much going to be it for the build. I'm telling you guys, this build, great build, man. It's truly a great build. Probably one of my favorite center builds right now, just because you can get so much rep with it. It makes the rep grind so much easier. I wish I would have made this build when the game came out, because I probably would have been like an Elite 3 by now. I'd probably be hitting Elite 3 this week. But hey, that's it. Go ahead, if you guys are new, subscribe like I said. Drop a like on the video. I know a lot of you guys maybe are getting this game for Christmas. Make this build if you're getting it for Christmas, man. This is not a bad option. So give it a try. It's going to help you rep up a lot. You're going to catch up with your friends that maybe got the game already because you're able to throw these different alley-oops. Go ahead and grind this build. Let me know what you guys think of this build in the comment section. Let me know if you guys like it, if you guys are going to plan on trying it out, giving it a test. And what's your favorite center build I've dropped? I've dropped a lot of different center builds on the channel. Let me know what your favorite is so far. But it's been Giuseppe Vuitton. I hope you guys all enjoyed. You have a wonderful holiday season, man. God bless you all. Peace.